Dorian Thompson-Robinson from UCLA. He's visiting with the Saints today, according to Jordan Schultz of The Score. Look, say whatever you want about DTR. You don't have to like his game. All I know for him is he improved almost every single year at UCLA. And let's go look at the numbers real quick and why I feel that is true. All right. You want to talk about his rating? That went up. His passer efficiency rating, best of his career, was this past season. His completion percentage, best of his career this past season, went all the way up to 69.6%. And we're talking about a guy who finished his career in the 63.3 mark. So it's not a terrible mark. It's a guy who you talk about being in the 50s when he started his career. And then the last 3 years of his UCLA stint, the worst completion percentage he had was 62.2. So completion percentage went up for him. Passing touchdowns, the most of his career, with 27. Interceptions went up a little bit at 10, but nothing to really get worried about. How about his rushing yards? Yards per carry, 5.5, second best mark of his 5-year stint. 645 rushing yards was the highest of his UCLA career, and then 12 touchdowns on the ground. I don't get too caught up in rushing touchdowns. I mean, that sometimes can get inflated, but the fact that the rushing yards are up, the passing yards were way up, 700 plus from the season before. I think he's an intriguing prospect. I don't know if he fits the Saints, though, because there are two problems with Dorian. The first one is he's already 23 years old. You know, by the time he gets to play, is he 25? Like, what happens there? The second is I don't know if he's the type of quarterback that this Saints staff can perfectly develop. I think Dorian Thompson-Robinson makes a lot of sense for teams like the 49ers, who want another quarterback in that building, maybe a team like the Seahawks, where you could let Geno do his thing, have a guy waiting in the wings. Those type of teams make a lot of sense. I don't know if the Saints make a ton of sense for him because I don't know if the perfect landing spot for him. But what I do know about DTR is he got better every single year at UCLA. Now, you can argue you don't love the system he runs with Chip Kelly. That's up to your discretion whether or not and how you feel about him as a head coach. But he's not going to go top 2 rounds. I don't even think he goes 3rd round. So, look, if it's day 3 and the Saints have gotten a lot of work done, and they addressed running back, and they addressed defensive line, and they added another offensive guard, why not? If you like the player. Now, we'll see how the visit goes. That'll be pretty telling, but I think for New Orleans, I like that they're keeping their options open. You know, they've met with Hendon Hooker in this process. They're being diligent about it. Signing Derek Carr never meant you shouldn't look at quarterbacks. If anything, you should always be looking at quarterbacks, unless your quarterback is Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, whatever. But I still don't believe the Saints are going to draft a quarterback. I just don't. I think, which I've said before, don't love the issues at D-line. I think that they could use another offensive guard. They can use another pass catcher. They sure as hell should be taking advantage of the running back market. And look, if they're going to get a UCLA guy, Zach Charbonnet right there at running back is the type of player, you throw him in the Saints offense, I think week 1, he would make a difference. And that would be the type of guy that I'd love to see the Saints go after if we're going for a UCLA prospect in this year's draft. But anyway, Saints visiting with DTR. We'll see how that visit goes. If it leads to anything, could just be nothing. Maybe it's something. We'll keep our eye out on that.